crowd. Pizza boxes, drinks in hand, telling tales, oh isn't it grand? Every moment a snapshot frame, wild adventures, we're all the same. From school halls to midnight drives, these are the moments that keep us alive.
All right, we are back, sort of, kind of. This is not the normal podcast, but we've started doing this thing where people tell stories. Not questions, just someone comes and tells a story that they have that they either like or they find interesting or weird, whatever. And it's just Brian and I right now. So Brian told a story not too long ago, and then now it's my turn.
Oh, man. Hope mine's better because it was before yours, and if you follow up with a better story.
I could just say Brian told a story, silent.
Yeah.
Insert before or after.
Hey, just say it now. No one's going to care.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Anywho, so this is my story. It's neither good nor bad. It's just a story.
Hey, what would judge that shit?
That's fine.
That's not up for you to determine.
That's fair. So many years ago, like I'm going to say circa 1995? Between 90 and 95, somewhere in there. I'm very old.
Your 43rd birthday.
I was working for a books, music, and video company called Hastings, and they were in B markets. There used to be one in Prescott. It's defunct now. The last one closed many months ago. And every year we would have manager meetings. Excuse me. And the manager meetings were held in scenic Amarillo, Texas.
Ooh.
Corporate headquarters, a.k.a. Armpit of Texas.
Yeah, my buddy drove through there to get a job.
Yeah. Okay. That's true. There's a Cadillac Ranch out there, but not much else. It's a truck stop, basically. Anywho, so I was just the way the flights worked out, I was one of the first people in at the manager meeting, and it's a very small company. And my buddy, Dan, was also arriving around about the same time. So we both kind of land simultaneously, different airlines. And the corporate headquarters person met us at the gate and said, "Hey, you guys are first in," and this throws us keys. And I was like, okay. And like, "Congratulations, you're the van driver." I was like, okay.
Better than a forklift.
That's fair. So there's like 17 pass van outside. As I said, small company. So our shtick was, because they are too cheap to hire a driver, we were the drivers for everyone coming in that entire day. So we went back to the hotel, and then we'd have a flight schedule, and we'd have to go back and forth to the airport all fucking day. Ugh. And I-40 it runs right through Amarillo, and there are tons. If you've ever been driven to I-40, there's tons of billboards. Every 5 seconds there's a billboard. And we went back and forth all day, and then I started noticing the billboards, because there's nothing. I'm not going to watch the road. Who cares? Jesus,
there's nothing to read on the highway.
I don't know if I can care. And I started seeing a billboard or billboards for the Big Texan. Mm-hmm. The Big Texan is a steakhouse. I'm going to use that term loosely, but it's also like a compound, meaning that there's like a fake Western town built around it and stuff. You can't miss it because there's a gigantic Hereford steer right out front. Okay. I think the thing might have been 25 feet tall. I don't know.
Jesus.
So we drive all day back and forth on I-40, and I keep seeing these billboards, and their shtick is, if you eat a 48-ounce steak in an hour, it's free. I'm not much of a steak guy, but I do like a challenge.
Yeah, and a free meal. Like a really bad shit. After
12 or 13 trips to the airport back and forth, I started thinking, like, you know what?
I'm hungry.
I can do this shit. So Dan's been riding shotgun with me all day, and I turned him on our last. I go back past the billboard and go, "I'm gonna do that." He's like, "What?" I said, "I'm gonna do the 48-ounce steak." He's like, "You're out of your damn mind. Nobody can eat that." I'm like, "That's not true, but I'm gonna do it."
Are you challenging me, bro?
So at our meetings, we went every day, whatever, and doing training and shit. At the end of one of the days, I turned to the proctor, or the person facilitating the whole thing. I raised my hand like a good girl, and I say, "I have an announcement to make." And she's like, "Nobody says that." I said, I am going to eat the 48-ounce Big Texan steak. And everyone lost their minds, because nobody does that, because that's stupid.
Yeah. From the billboard?
Yeah. That one? You're going to eat the big cow. So that night, we all loaded up in all these vans, and we head down to the Big Texan. And when you walk into it's like old-timey saloon doors.
Nice.
You know.
That's a good sound effect, by the way. Was that a button, or did you do that yourself?
I did that myself. So you walk in, the first thing you see is the bar. And the bar, what's unique about it is, on the top of the bar is all this writing, and I didn't understand what it was until I got closer. It's basically the names, ages, and weights of the people and the dates who have done the 48-ounce challenge. They all like carve their names in the bar.
Okay.
There's like grandmothers, kids, a lot of truckers, weirdly.
No way.
I know. When you turn in to get into the dining room, there's a push cart, like a push cart that people use in malls and shit for. Anyway, the 48-ounce steak is there, but what I did not realize is it's not just the steak. It's a salad, a shrimp cocktail, bread,
accoutrements.
And so everyone's at this point. Everyone's behind. So and I look at it. I'm like, it's not that bad.
Yeah, no fries.
No fries there. So we're at this big throne table, like long table. Everyone's there. There's like, I don't know, 70, 80 of us there. And I'm at the head of the table.
So
a
lot of vans.
It's true. They were all very small too. I don't understand. Get a bigger bus. I don't get it. So the waitress or waiter was going around taking orders, and they get to me and they said, what would you like? And I turned to him with all the confidence I could muster. I said, I would like to do the 48-ounce challenge.
Yeah.
And he looked at me and he just sighed.
Like another
it's
one.
like, how would you like it cooked? And I said, I like my cook well. And he goes, you don't want to do that.
Yeah, that makes it way harder.
Here's the thing. I'm going to give you some tips. He said, rare if you can stand it, but like medium rare. Whatever you do, don't use utensils. I was like, what? They get dull. I'm like, oh, here we go.
I'll get you 4 knives. I'll be right back.
Right. So everyone's getting their food. God, this is a longer story than I thought.
They get dull. They get dull. Like, you're gonna run out of knives, motherfucker.
Everyone gets their food, and I'm waiting, and the guy comes around and goes, all right, follow me. I was like, wait, what? He said, no, you don't eat here. So
you're like, bye.
So he takes me. In the middle of the restaurant is a dance floor. Next to the dance floor is a stage, a very tiny stage with a table and a spotlight.
Oh my God.
So it's a big fucking restaurant. So the guy says, you're going to be eating up there. I'm like, oh,
cool.
Shit.
Cool.
This is awesome. So I sit down, and the manager or somebody comes over and he goes, all right, here's the deal. You have to eat 48 ounces in under an hour with all the sides. Gristle gets called by us. I'm like, cool.
Sweet.
Neat. Behind me is the grill, so I can see what they're doing.
Laughing at you.
Yeah. So I'm watching, and they got this big hunk of brontosaurus, whatever it is.
That's like a foot.
So they get it all, and it's not enough that they bring this big thing out, but they put sparklers in it. And there's like 12 people behind them, and one's carrying the shrimp cocktail, one's carrying the bread, one's carrying this. I was like, Jesus Christ. But they literally just walk out and they turn it and they're done. So the guy comes out like, hey, everybody, Michael's going to do this. It's like the Chili's Club, like, happy birthday.
I don't know what you've been told. Someone here's getting old.
That one. And he says, all right, sir. And there's a big clock right next to you. And he says, here we go. And they start the clock and it's counting down. And I remember the guy said, cut it into 4s and eat it like a hamburger.
Yeah.
Just caveman that shit. So I did that. It wasn't great.
Yeah, what ounce were you done with it?
Yeah. So I did a quarter and I was like, I got to change it. So I did all the sides. I was like, let's get that out of the way. Yeah. And then I start on the second piece and I'm like, oh, this is this is taking a turn. So this and I'm lit up the whole time. This spotlight does not go away.
And no one's watching.
No.
It's
and
just a lot of lights.
My team sees the fading confidence. So all 80 of them get out on the dance floor and they do the YMCA for me.
That definitely helps.
Like that's going to help. So they do the routine and they go back to the table and this very nice elderly couple comes shuffling in front of me.
Yeah.
And the guy stops and he looks at me and looks at the plate and looks at me again. He says, son, are you going to finish that? I said, I looked at him. I looked at the plate. I go, I am not. He takes a $50 bill and puts it on the table. He says, well, you tried.
That motherfucker goes there every night just hoping you'll show up, dude.
So needless to say, I got halfway through, but I ate everything. So,
you ate all the sides.
My theory going into it was it's 48 ounces. I can drink 2 40s. That's 80. I mean,
if you drink them like a hamburger, it's fine.
Can you put it in a blender?
And then a 40-ounce bottle.
So, story after the story. So, in the parking lot, in the same parking lot as Big Texan, is a strip club. So we decided, great idea. After this guy has gorged himself on a cow, let's go to the strip club. So we walk. Me and like I don't know 3 other guys walk into the strip club because nobody else is like, man, it looks kind of shady. We walk in, barely lit. But we could see the stage, and no lie, there's a lady who is doing her dance, one leg. She's got one leg, and she's doing a stripping. And I'm like, A, I'm impressed. B, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, and C, is that what I ate and didn't finish?
Right. So the next day at class, everyone's like, oh, you did it? And like, not really. And then halfway through the class, I go, I have to go back to the room. I couldn't do it. I had the meat sweats, and I was so blocked up.
Like, seriously.
Yeah,
2 weeks later, the best PM of your life, dude.
Right. I destroyed the bathroom. So the moral of the story is Big Texan can be done, but I wouldn't recommend it because it's pretty terrible.
Yeah, especially with the spotlight in the stage. That's pretty funny. Like, oh, no, you're not eating at the table with your 70 friends.
Right.
I know you've been driving vans all week, but let's make a spectacle of you. Don't worry, this whole guy will give you $50.
So there you go, Big Texan.
That's fantastic.
Don't do it, is my recommendation.
Good talk.
All right, bye.
Late nights, we're laughing loud, echoes in a sleepy crowd. Pizza boxes, drinks in hand, telling tales, oh isn't it grand? Every moment a snapshot frame, wild adventures, we're all the same. From school halls to midnight drives, these are the moments that keep us